everyone, it's Michelle from Noble Touch, and today we are going to do a fall horse head wreath. Now, I did a couple of these a few years ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do one now and go ahead and film it for you. So what you're going to need is some florals, some fall florals. These were the leaves and berries mix I got from Walmart. A sunflower. I'm going to use this for my eye. As well as I have some of this bling ribbon, and I'll post a link for this. You can get this on Amazon. This is gorgeous, and you can use this. You get a lot. You get a big roll of this for, you know, one price. But this is a beautiful brown I'm going to use for the halter. And then, of course, for my mesh, now you guys can use any colors of fall mesh that you, or fall color mesh, I should say. I'm using a chocolate, a lighter brown, a champagne, and the cream with the gold threading. Now, my last one I did, I had green and oranges, and it was just beautiful. So I'm going to try something a little different. So let me move this aside. Now here, you're going to use brown burlap. I got this big roll from Walmart of the brown burlap. And this is 5.5 inch by 30 feet. So you can actually do 2 horse heads with this one roll. And then I have some fall colored yarn. This is kind of a orange brown yarn that I'm going to use. And of course your big needle. Threading this was fun, so I try to thread a big piece of it so I don't have to re-thread it when it's all said and done. And then, of course, your horse head frame. You can get this right now in stock at Craft Outlet. I think it's $3.50 for the frame. And then you will need a large plastic canvas grid to attach to it. Your zip ties, your scissors, your wire cutters, your wood burning tool. If you're using the wood burning tool, that's just to prevent the fraying on the mesh when we cut it. And make sure you have a glass piece over your mat when you cut, so you don't melt your mat. You're cutting on the glass. Or you can use a, you know, glass, oh, what is it? You can use a cookie sheet, or you can use a glass cutting board. Jeez, I couldn't think of it. And then, of course, your glue gun is what you're going to need for this project, and zip ties, if I didn't say that already. So let's go ahead and get started. We have our sheet here, our plastic canvas, and then our frame, and I just kind of line it up and trace. And that's okay that this is missing here. You don't really need that part because your mane will cover that when it's all said and done. And I do not do the ear. And I come around to the nose. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and attach it to the frame with the zip ties. Okay, so we have that all attached. Now we're going to roll out our burlap just a little bit. And just grab the end here and kind of fold it in like so. Now I like to typically do my horse heads here, and then the rest be mane. So what I'm going to do is start in this, I guess, third section right in the middle, and you're going to lay your burlap down about here and just zip tie that piece through the grid. Like so. And then you're going to bring the burlap back over so it covers like that. So then, and then what I do is gather it and leave it a little bit poofy. So we're kind of doing puffs with this. and zip tie it. And then again, we're just going to keep doing this on the horse head part. Although we're going to skip the ear, we do that after we get the head portion done. Okay, so if you notice, I ended here at the nose. I avoided the nose. I just went up to that bar and back and forth until I came to my last strip, and I brought it to the center and zip tied it there. That's just to hold that last strip in place. Now, what I'm going to do for the nose is I like to take the burlap out to the edge of the nose and kind of fold it back on itself like this. And then hold it like that, and we're going to want a little bit, so we're going to cut a couple inches past the nose. And here, and I'm not a sewer, so don't let this discourage you when you see the needle come out, but you're going to just tuck this around like this and hold the nose. And this might look like a hot mess right now, but don't worry, it comes all into focus when we're all said and done. So I'm just going to take my needle and start from the back and get behind the metal bar and just bring it up like this and pull to your knot. And then this, we're just going to give some accent with this yarn around the nose and the ear. So we're just going to put a couple loops in the bottom, some around the nose and then the top, and we'll be back. Okay, so now when we finish off, we're just going to loop it through the other yarn here. Kind of just pull it tight. And then you can use the other piece here and knot it. trying to get my finger through here. Okay, there we go. And not like that. And then we can hit that with glue and a little bit. Now, I don't know if this is going to be enough for my ear or not. See, that just added some cute fall trim there. Now for the ear, we're going to grab our burlap and we're going to measure. Oh, I think I typically do about 6 to 8 inches. Of burlap and just cut it. See, that's a whole nother roll you can use for another horse head right there. And then you can fold it like this over the ear. And just kind of fold it back. So it's folded like this on the back. And then you're going to take your needle and thread and again start like behind the bar, but go through the grid. That way the grid kind of holds it in place too. And I'm going to have to knot my yarn here at the end. And just be careful, like when you're pulling through, it doesn't, because it's so long of a piece, it likes to get itself knotted up, and you don't want that. So just pull through till it comes to the knot. And then you're just going to wrap it basically around that bar where the ear is. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start decorating the head. Now here, you see how this is kind of gapped here and here. If you want to bring that together, you just have to go like underneath, and you can do a zip tie and just run it through the burlap, which is pretty easy to do. If you want to pull this one in back here, like that, just make sure you hold on to the other end here. Actually, I think I might do this one here. And basically, you're going to go underneath the burlap, so you're not going to see the zip tie. I gotta get this one so it's, I can get underneath it. And just zip tie this and pull these together. And then same here. Oh, I'm knocking all my mesh off over here on the table. And then you can do the same in here. just gives it more of a form, you know, you're forming it to the frame. And you can do the same along the back edge here as well. Now we're going to go ahead and decorate the head. Now I did forget, this is just a little piece of, this is the center of a smaller sunflower that I'm going to use. So, and I'm going to put it here for the nose, but what I like to do is put some glue in the tip here. And then take a pipe cleaner. I want to push that through. And then let that set up right there. And we're going to go ahead and push that through the burlap there. Now for our bling, for our halter that we're going to make, I have 3 pieces cut. This one's 17 inches. You can do 17 to 18 inches for the long piece. And then these are 8 inches for the head stall and for around the nose. Because we're going to put it around the nose like this for the halter. Now you can cut these as wide or thin if you just want to do a single, so it's, you know, you just have a single one. Sometimes I might do a single around the nose and do a double for the head stall. It is up to you what you want to do with there or with that. Like I said, this would be the head stall because you're going to have to cut it long enough where it kind of wraps around the nose band here, because you're going to glue there and bring it up to the back. And then of course you're going to have to glue around here and then bring over for the head stall like that. Let me see if that's set up. I think so. So here's a little trick. Take your needle. Sometimes it might be hard to push through the burlap, and just thread your pipe cleaner just a little bit and hook it onto your needle, and then just push through and pull down like that. And then I'm going to hit this with some glue. So we can pull down like this. And then we can just go ahead and kind of put it around the wire here on the frame just to secure it. You can wrap it a few times. And then wrap it around itself. Like that. So we have our nose on there. Okay, so we're going to make the halter. Now the halter, when we put the piece around the nose, like this, we want this to attach the head stall right here, the longer piece. I just folded. We want to attach it a little bit lower because we don't want to attach it in the middle or too high, because then you're not going to have enough room for your eyeball. So we're going to attach it a little bit lower, like right here. So I just kind of eye it here, hold it. Now we're going to flip this. So about right there is where we want to, because I'm going to fold this over like that and glue here. So I'm going to do that first. Be careful not to burn yourself. And once that's set up, oh, I got glue everywhere. So once that sets up, then you're going to come here and hit these two on top, or these four, I should say. And bring this back over like that. Now this piece can be a little bit more difficult depending on where it's going to go. I guess we'll see here. So if I put this on like that and bring this up here, and if this is too poofy here too, I mean, I'm going to show you how to make this a little bit smoother when it's all said and done. But first we want to get this headstall on. Now, like I said, you can leave it just like this. You don't need to add the piece over the ear. The piece over the ear, I think, just adds a little bit more bling here. I don't know if I like the double or if I want to just do a single up top. Let's try a single. And this is easy to cut. You just got to get in between and get the thread that's in between. I think maybe right there. Yeah, I think I like just the one instead of the two over the ear. You just need a little bit of bling. And I think that's about a good spot right there. So of course we'll hit this with some glue and do the same thing that we did for the nose. You want me to measure this from the headstall. It's about 9 inches. Or the, you know, from the nose band to the headstall, it's about 9 inches. Okay, so now that's all ready to go on. All we're going to do is basically come around and then glue. And I start with the nose always first. I kind of just hold it here. And I just put some glue on the back. And you can hit it with some glue here too, if you would like. Just put it on there. Like I said, the back looks like a hot mess, but we're going to cover that with the foam board. And the foam board, once I trace the frame out, I basically just punch holes in it and zip tie like I do my flowers. I think I might even show it in the other horse head video I did for the Rocky Mountain horse. And sometimes if you want to just hit it right here on the edge, you can do that too. Bring it in. Because then also that foam board will help hold anything in as well. I'm getting glue all over my nails. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. And I typically do, so I do the nose first, then I do the back of the head here. So you just want to come behind that ear. And I literally just glue on the frame or the grid. And just hold down till it sets up. Okay, so now we're going to do our eye. And same thing with the eye, we're just going to pop this off. And then, of course, I don't want the whole thing there for the eye, so I'm going to trim some of the petals off. Just kind of fold that down and trim off some of the excess petals. Think the eye's too big? I think it's going to be fine once we're all said and done, because like I said, this is going to be kind of an over-the-top fall horse head. And I always think of horses, I think of their big, beautiful eye. I always think that they have a big, beautiful eye. So I always make the eyes a little bit bigger, especially with the fall horse. So then I'm going to take this and put it back on the back. And I'm going to trim off the excess green here. So you can kind of come behind. And I like to keep this backing on because it kind of helps hold the other petals up. Like that. So, of course, we're just going to take a fuzzy stick, again, like we did to the nose. And hit that with some glue. and push that into there so that's glued like that. And then we're just going to let that sit and then do the same thing. We're going to pull through. Okay, so for cutting the mesh for the main, I'm going to use a wood burner. Now you guys can use your rotary cutter. That's up to you. I prefer a wood burner because it melts the mesh as I cut it, so I don't get as much fraying as I would with a rotary cutter. There are certain pedals and techniques I use that I can use a rotary cutter, but for this pedal, I like to use a wood burner. But also make sure you have glass over your mat, as well as have a respirator on because you are cutting plastic, so you do get some smoke when you cut the plastic. So we're just going to cut every 10 inches. So I'm going to find my 10-inch line, and then you're just going to, you know what, can I zoom in on this? Hold on. Try to zoom in. Yeah, I don't know how zoom that is, but you're going to find your 10-inch line, and then you're just going to go in between the grid line. Keep in between. So if it moves, you're going to move with it, and then just kind of pull apart as you go and you cut like that to get your clean lines. And we're going to cut 15 10-inch sheets of each color of mesh. So we'll be back. Okay, so we have our mesh, and I'm going to just grab a piece of each color for the forelock. For this one, now this is my typical flower fold that I do, and typically I go from here and fold in. But for the forelock, I'm going to grab this other corner and fold in. And fold in. Now this is for if the frame is left facing. If it's right facing, you're going to do the normal fold. And mine is facing that way. So then you just have your fold like this. I'll do that again because I think I was talking. And then pull down and do that with your pipe cleaner. So again, you're going to come from this corner, fold in, pinch, and just fold the bottom, basically twist the bottom and fold over like that. And then we're going to do the same with the other two. Okay, so now we have our horse head up here. Actually, I think I want to tuck that maybe a little bit more. Like that. And I think what we're going to do, I'm going to start off with chocolate. You guys can do whatever you want with this. Your color combinations, you know, sky is the limit with your creativity. So do whatever combinations you want. So what I'm going to do is the bar is right here. I don't know if you guys can see that with that. Right here is the bar. So we're going to just come a little bit in front of the headstall here. And just attach to the bar and pull through. Now if you can pick up some grid, that's good too. And just tighten around the bar. And then I think maybe I'll go gold next, or this champagne color, and just go a little bit lower. Like I said, if you can get the grid, which I'm going to try to grab the grid in here with my fuzzy stick. And go around that bar as well. And just secure down. And then we're just going to do the other two colors, and we'll be back. Okay, so we have the forelock done. I know it looks like a crazy mess here, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is just kind of gather these. And this is why I had you do the different side, because you have the clean edge here. But we're just going to kind of gather all of these like so. And what I like to do here, just to train this, is take a zip tie and you can do this with a matching fuzzy stick or pipe cleaner. You can do this with a wire, but a clear zip tie tends to work. And you want to take it on, you know, I'm going to turn this over so it's maybe a little bit easier to see. Push it through on the outside of this side of the mesh. And just catch some of the mesh there. And then push the zip tie back through, which it goes pretty easy through. And pull down. Now you don't have to pull down tight, because if you pull down tight, it gives it kind of a pinching look. So if you just want to just get it so it's not, I don't know if you can see right there, don't pull the zip tie tight. Just give it some play room so it doesn't look so crazy. And see, that will help, you know, with the mane so it's not sticking up like, ah. Okay, now we're going to go on from the forelock. See, and I like it down a little bit more, so I'll play with it and push it down a little bit more. And now we're going to go to the mane. So I like to start out with the same color combination I have here. So I will start out with the chocolate, the gold, the light brown, and the cream all the way down the back of the mane. Okay, so right here, we're going to go, and you can go kind of in between this too. Right here, this, the head stall. So you can take your brown. I like to go right up behind the ear with this. So I typically just go up behind the ear, and I will show you on this side. See right here? And then just twist that. Like that. And then we're just going to keep doing that all the way down to the back of the mane, and we'll be back. Okay, so the back half of the mane is finished. This is so full and gorgeous. I love it. And now what I typically do is just come right up here, and I will put one right here. And then I'm going to come this way now with the Deco Mesh. And we will keep doing that until we're done. so now that the mesh part is done, again, I will go through the top here and just take a few, like the first 4 or 5, and zip tie down just to hold that a little bit more down if needed. And then I'm going to take some of the floral here, and we're going to insert it into the mane in different spots. Now when I insert, I typically will take the base of the florals, push it through the grid, and then bend it so it like hooks it in place so they don't move. So just reach down in here to find your grid, push it through like that, and then when you turn it around, I can see where I just even put it here, right here. So just, it'll be bent like that. You can also, if you would like, bend it back through so it's in like that. So it's more stable and stays in. Well, that's all I do to attach the florals into the mane. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in, and then we'll be done. Okay, so now that I have it done, there's some things I don't like about it. I don't like the big eye. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put on a smaller eye. I think I like that one, and I like the orange. It goes better in with my foliage. But I also don't like this right in here where it's like puckered down. So what I think I'm going to do is kind of cover that. Maybe go a different way, grab some of the burlap. I might even go under here. Under. Like I said, I just don't like that up there around the eye. And maybe zip tie like here. So I got a spot in here. You can hide the ends in the folds. I just don't like that pulled look right there. So I might even just do something like that. So I'm just going to zip tie this end, and then I'm going to zip tie it down on this side, and that way I get rid of that look there. So I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to put the eye in, and I'm going to grab some of this and go into some here. And just pull this eye down. So that's what's kind of nice about the burlap. If there's pieces you don't like, you can cover it again and just get it to your desired look. Like that. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of this up on the door so you guys can see what it looks like all together. And please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. And of course, I will post everything underneath the description portion of the video. So you guys have a great day. Thank you.